Hey everyone, I'm Brittany Duran from Punished Props, and this week on our live stream I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I've finally picked out what Overwatch cosplay I want to make. Overwatch had an open beta, so I got into it this past weekend, and they have some new skins for all the Overwatch characters. I really fell in love with this skin, and I want to make this cosplay, and on this episode I wanted to kind of take you through the process of planning out your costume and seeing where the difficult points are going to be, and like certain parts where you kind of know how you're going to do it, and then you look at it closer and you realize it's going to have to be made completely differently, what materials I'm going to use, maybe start sourcing some of the pre-made items, kind of figure out if there's going to be any electronics or moving parts. So this purple one is fine and all, but I really like this one. And I'll start off by talking a little bit why I like this costume. One of the things I personally like to do in a cosplay is really nail the silhouette. And so like for the Destiny Vex Goblin, it was fun trying to fit a human form into this robot form, but I'm a pretty tall, like lanky person, so it kind of worked out for me, and that's part of what drew me to doing that character. That's kind of how I'm feeling about Widowmaker too. All the Overwatch characters' proportions are kind of like Pixar and ridiculous. Like if a human tried to bend their back this way, they would probably snap in half. But she's also kind of a taller character, so I'm drawn to that. I really like this outfit though. I think that's what's really selling me on it. Also this gun. This gun is just awesome. Another thing that drew me to this costume is it's a lot of cloth, and I've sewn before, but I'm not that great at it. I've never sewn off a pre-made pattern, and I would really like to try that because I hear that's amazing. Yeah, the ratio of leg to torso. I have pretty long femurs, but this is a cartoon character. All the Overwatch characters have these kind of extreme proportions. So I'll be doing a human version of this character, but that's fine. It's because I'm human. Willow, why are you being so ridiculous? You want to hang out? Meow. Willow, do you want an Overwatch costume? Meow. What? Usually what I'll do is, once I get some references of the character, if it's a video game, I'll get into the game, and if they have a character rotator, I'll slowly rotate around the character and hit print screen, and in most video games, the print screen will send the screenshot right to their download folder, and Overwatch is like that. There's a download folder, and it saves all the pictures there. And when I rotate the character to get the pictures, I want to get front and side view references. So her face is kind of moving around right now, so I'd wait until she kind of looks at the camera and line it up right, and then I would hit print screen, there we go, like that, to get a forward shot of her helmet. And then this arm thing, I would rotate until I get a side view on like this side and this side, and get a front view of that. So as I rotate around, I kind of think about getting all of these references that I'll have to use later. Also, Overwatch has reference kits, cosplay reference kits on their website that you can go check out. It's only for the default skins right now, but if you're going to do one of the default Overwatch characters, just head on over to their website, and they have, I think it's under media, and then there's reference kits, and they're really nice PDF files for that. Also, if the video game lets you zoom in on certain weapons, I'll try and get screenshots that way. This is a really great reference though. We've worked with cosplay designing when we've only had a front view before. So like being able to rotate around a character is already way awesomer. So usually what I do is I'll start at the top of the character and kind of go through all the parts and figure out what I'm going to need to make them all happen. And I'll create a list. I'm just opening up a Word document. I'll usually save this in like the Google Cloud so that I'll always have access to it, especially if I'm out shopping. I want to have access to everything I need. And this is something that's great to do anytime you start a new costume, to make sure you don't get overwhelmed later, and that you can order all your stuff that you need for it ahead of time and figure everything out. So first off, I really like that her hair color is pretty much the same as mine, so I don't have to wear a wig. I'm pretty stoked about that. Wigs are fun, but it would just be nice to not have to wear one. They get warm. However, I do have very thin hair, It's always been like that. It's just, it's not very floofy. So for this, I think I'm gonna look into getting, they sell ponytail extensions. Ooh, here we go. Ponytail wrap. Awesome, well, and you can see like they have different colors to show you which ones are different there. All right, so I'm just going to copy the URL for this and save it into my document. It looks like she has a cool design thing for her hair. So while I'm making all her little armor pieces, I'll just call it an armor hair tie. The biggest challenge of this costume, I think for me, is the headpiece, because I might make it try and move. I'm undecided on that. Different panels come forward and she ends up with like Splinter Cell goggles where they slide down onto her face. I might make it move, I might not. It probably depends on when I get started on it. Definitely gonna add lights though. I'm gonna make it out of foam. I'm gonna need some LEDs, maybe orange. And yeah, I think this is gonna lend really well to a foam build. It has a lot of cool squiggly trim details, so I can just do that out of a 2mm foam and then do these parts out of thicker foam. There's convenient seams on some of these lights, so I can, when I wrap foam to form a circle, I'll probably use a PVC tube, wrap the foam around it, and then keep an obvious seam where I glue the foam around the pipe and then remove the pipe, because pipes get heavy after a while, so I don't want those staying in the helmet. And this is great because once you, so if you're looking at a costume and you're kind of like running through in your head like, oh, I would do that that way and I would do that that way, and you don't write it down, you're going to forget things, and also you're not going to open up your mind to be creative about different ways to make things. So once you write them all down and you're kind of thinking about it, you'll be like, oh, what if I tried that instead? There's a convenient strap here, which is cool. I'll probably make that a real strap, a real adjustable strap. Thank you, game developers, for making a functional headpiece that doesn't just magically stay on her head. The gun, I'm not going to talk about too much. I want better references of this. The gun does move. The scope will pop out and the barrel will elongate. So that one does transform. And that would be really cool to make happen. I don't know, this whole gun is going to be like an entire build on its own. So I'll just write down gun. I'm definitely going to make it out of foam though, because this thing's pretty big. So it'll be a foam build. So next I'm going to talk about the jacket. I've always wanted to try this, but I want to use a coat pattern. Like an actual fabric pattern. I know it's crazy, but actually get one of those and use it. Because it would be great to learn how to use those. And then modify it to work for this coat. Let's see, before I forget, I'm gonna write down tie. She has like a tie and a white shirt, like a dress shirt. Add an armpit gusset. I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna make a note to do that. I'm guessing that's extra room. Yeah, because you know this 3D model is a cheater, and she somehow got in this jacket. I'm gonna make a note that the vest could be the same fabric as the inside trim of the jacket. Yeah, it looks like all of the inside trim of her jacket is red. I'm probably going to buy a glove for that. Does her other side, her other robot hand, have a glove at all? Yes, cool. What I will do is make this cuff though. Her hands look pretty slender. I think I'm gonna get stretchy gloves, but we'll see what I find, and then just glue stuff to them, or sew stuff to them. So that's definitely going to be a foam build. I'll probably reinforce this because it's pretty thin. And I don't know if this glows or not, but I'll probably make it glow, the syringe thing, because that would look cool. Yeah, so I'll make this out of the same way I make the headpiece trim, so these will match. One of the things that's nice about looking at these different skins is this version, where they're purple, they totally look like they're just 2 layers of pants. These are just like normal workout pants. Like yoga pants, you can get them really high-waisted. And then I would add fabric just to the front of it. So like in this version, you can see it better. So like the purple part would be added. So the same kind of stretchy fabric I would use for that. And these little bits I would just attach with foam temporarily, probably add 2 small snaps. So that if you just had 1 snap, it'll rotate, but if you had 2, you can snap the foam on and then pop it off later. Let's make a note to see how many red things I need to make. Some of them are different sizes too. The boots I am going to buy. This cuff will get added to the boots. So it'd be great to have already functioning boots, have a zipper up the back, so I have like those nice thin ones. I might end up making those out of the same fabric as this and this. So the inside of the coat trim and the vest might end up being the same fabric as the boot tops. Actually, that does look really cool, that little trim bit. I could just either paint it on or just put a little strip of craft foam on there. And these little guys I'll make in this whatever way I end up making. These are like little winglings and this little spear. So probably out of foam and maybe some styrene. Well, I think that's about everything for just the basic layout. When you go through this design process, you can kind of break down all the different parts and realize that cosplay isn't so scary, and then you can figure out which parts you care about more than others, and then which parts you need to start on sooner, what things you need to order. What parts are new that you've never tried before. That will probably take way longer than you think it will. So for me saying, I'm gonna sew a jacket, I bet this is gonna take me 5 times longer than I think it is. Even if I overestimate, it will take much longer because I've never done it before. I'll be learning a lot along the way. And that's fine though, it's great to learn new things. I'm going to save this document. It's just a couple pages of notes and some of the links that you guys have sent me and some of the ones I went and got. Some terms I want to look up later. And this will all be really helpful when I sit down and start planning out my build. And I'm sure I'll be live streaming this process too. I think this video will be really great for people who are getting into cosplay, who are a little intimidated with breaking down all the details. Also, make sure to check out all our stuff over on punishprops.com. If you want to support our video content, you can support us over on patreon.com/punishprops. And thank you for hanging out with me, and I look forward to more live streams in the future. See you guys later.